Today we are making a video on Arch Linux 2023-0401 edition, which is April edition. And here is the boot menu of the Arch Linux 2023-0401 edition. This is to boot in a live media, and here are few other options. I want to boot it in a live mode, so let's click on the live mode. It should take a few seconds, maximum of a minute and a minimum of 30 to 40 seconds, because that's the common time which a Linux distro should take. And again, I forgot to mention that I'm running it on a virtual machine, which is a VMware, with 4 GB of RAM and 40 GB of hard disk, and with the 2 processors running right now. And it should take a few more seconds to load up, and we should be getting our desktop layout. And again, I already made another video on PISI Linux 2.3.2 today. If you want, you can go check that out too. The video should be available in a few seconds, so go check that out too. Again, if the video clarity is not good, so it should be the problem with the YouTube, because YouTube takes a lot of time to process the video, and I am providing the high quality content, so it should take a few seconds. If it's already in a good quality with like a 1080p 60 frames per second, so that's the good option. If it is like a 360p, so you need to wait for a few more seconds, because the video should be processing. So it's not the issue with me, it's the issue from the YouTube. It happens only sometimes, because you already know sometimes YouTube messes up. And we should be seeing our mouse cursor in a few seconds, or a mouse pointer you can call it. It should be taking a few more seconds. It almost took like 40 seconds, I guess. It should be taking like still more like 20 seconds maybe. Here is our mouse pointer. I think it should, for me it should take like a minute and 15 seconds today. It usually takes like 40 to 30 seconds minimum, but today the Arch Linux took almost like a minute and 15 seconds. I don't know how much time it takes to your PC. Maybe it should depend on your PC requirements or PC resources, or maybe the ISO file, who knows. Let's first change the display resolution by going to settings and display. I'm running the XFCE desktop environment Arch Linux 1920 x 1080, which is my monitor with a 16:9 ratio. Click on apply. It should be good. And if you want to change the font size, because if you don't see properly, you can go by clicking on the application menu, then settings and appearance, and go to settings and change the scaling or a window scaling to 2x. It should change pretty good with a big font. And you need to log out and log in, or you can restart. If you are on live media or a live mode, or running a live the ISO file, then you need to just log out. If you already installed it, so you can reboot that the Linux distro. You need to understand that, because if you are on live mode, if you restart it, it's not going to work. You need to log out, just log out, and the password should be like LIVE, which is live, or the Arch Linux. That should be the password commonly. And here is the select Arch mirror with the reflector simple version 3.3.1. We don't need that. Let's click on cancel, and let's first check the system monitor, because we need to know how much resources are consumed before running the apps. And here is our system monitor, and let's check the version before 42.0, which is the old version. No problem. These are all the processes running right now. These are the resources. Let's change the color so you can look properly. CPU is running mid with a mid graph, or you can call it as a medium graph, which is almost like at the beginning it was like a 50%, but now it's running under 30%. It's crossing 30%, and the RAM is almost 1 GB at the beginning of the video, and I have used the 4 GB of RAM in the virtual machine with a 40 GB hard disk, I already said, and cache is 1.7 GB. You need to remember this thing because I'm going to show it at the end of the video again, and you will have an idea of how much resources are consumed. So remember this thing. If you don't or can't remember this thing, just place the video side by side and check it out on your own, and you will be having your answer there, that how much resources are consumed, like a RAM, CPU, all that things. So let's close this thing and open the system one, the terminal. About the terminal, which is a 1.0.4, let's type in few commands like inxi -sv8. We should give all the, I typed it wrong, so let's clean that thing and type in again inxi -sv8. Should give the full distro info. Some of my viewers said this command, thanks for him. I already thanked him in the previous videos. No problem if I thank him again. The kernel version is 6.2.8 and the host is Arch ISO, which is 64-bit. Compiler GCC version 12.2.1, and XFCE version is 4.18.1. The latest version is 4.18.4, and GTK version is 3.24.36. After the point you need to call 24.36 like that, no, not like a 24.36. This is just some educational info, that's it. I'm just going to say like that. Version is 4.18.0, light DM version 1.32 or 32.0, and VT7. Distro is Arch Linux. Phoenix, BIOS Phoenix version is 6.0, and 4 GB of RAM and 1 GB of RAM consumed, which is 26%. And this is my CPU. If you want to know my CPU, here is the CPU. I'm using a laptop, Acer laptop, and version VMWGFX version is 2.20.0, and here are some display resolutions. And XOR's version is 21.1.8, display is X11. XFWM version is 4.18.0, and XVLAN version is 23.1.1. I think we covered everything, I guess. I think let's scroll it down and see what else we still left. This is a big line. I almost swear the word. INXI version is 3.3.26 or 26. Systemd version is 253, and uptime is 5 minutes. And what is bash? Shell bash version is 5.1.16 or 16. Compilers GCC, I already said this version too. So let's type in few more commands which is similar. I was typing like this before, and some of my viewers said this. You can just type in that inxi-sv8 for the full distro info. Let's type in inxi-G. You can even type like this and get the info, or like directly like that, just a single command which will give full desktop info or a distro info. Let's type in cat:/etc/issue Arch Linux, which is like that. Let's type in htop if it's available. And this is the htop. CPU is 647 MB, not the CPU, the RAM, sorry for that. And tasks are 74. I think that's it. Let's check the version of the kernel terminal, which I already showed, but no problem if I show again. Let me take you directly to the official website of Arch Linux and show you how to download the distro. You can add the desktop environment on your own, or you can use the Arch based Linux distros with a GUI, or Arch Linux with GUI. You can get it like that. So let's type in Arch Linux, and this is the official website, which is archlinux.org. You can directly type in like this, or or type in like as I did, and this is the website, and you will need to go to download. And this is the current release, which is 2023-04-01, and kernel is this version 6.2.8, which is almost latest version. And these are the download links for torrent. You can choose any type of download you want. If I choose Canada mirror, I should be getting like this ISO file. Here is the ISO file, 809 MB. If you need to download the Arch Linux with a GUI, it should be like a 2 GB, like something like that. So that's it, and this is the installer, I guess. Arch Linux installation. You don't need to know the installation process, which is almost same in every Linux distros, which whenever it is a Calamares, which is 3.2.61, there will be same installation process. First need to choose your language, which is a basic thing, even a kid can do this. And the location, you don't need to give your actual location, you can give it anything like that. And the keyboard, it automatically puts to your keyboard, and you need to choose your language here. I'm going to use the same English default. You can choose your own language, and this is the main and important, and you need to be careful part here. If you want to boot in a single boot, you need to choose RS disk and choose any option you want. If you want to do partitioning, all this thing, you need to go with a manual partitioning. You need to have an idea of what you're doing here, so be careful while doing this option. Don't just blindly go click on next and like that. Try to learn that thing, and better go like that, because I'm saying because it's going to ruin your PC if you don't know anything like that. If you're running on a virtual machine or a VMware VirtualBox like that, no problem, nothing will happen. But if you're running on a main PC, that's going to affect your hard disk, or it's going to erase everything. So be careful while choosing this option. So click on next. After choosing that, you will get all the desktop environment if you choose a Arch Linux GUI Linux distro instead of just Arch Linux. Or you can download all, install on your own if you're a pro. If you don't like that, you can just type in the Google like Arch Linux, not Google, or your favorite search engine. You can type in just like Arch Linux GUI. You will get a Linux distros like this. I got XFCE, Mad Desktop, Plasma, GNOME, Cinnamon, Budgie, Deepin, i3 Window Manager, OpenBox. Almost every Linux desktop environment is available, almost. So it will be good, and it's also graphical, so it will be very easy. If you are pro, you can go do anything you want. If you are a normal user like me, you can just download like that and install anything you want like that. These are some packages. You can select and download anything you want like that. And here is the user process, like you just need to type in your name, not the actual name. You can give any language, any name you want. If everything is going properly, there will be a tick marks like that. If not, there will be into marks like that. I'm choosing a password. For the sake of video, I'm choosing the simple password. Always try to give a strong password, because it's going to help you. And if you want to use the same password for the administrator account, just click in the checkbox, or just uncheck the checkbox and give the different password. Always remember the password, or write down the password, because you don't want to struggle after the installation. It's better to write down somewhere instead of scratching your head for the password. Here is the summary of the installation process, what I all chose in the previous steps. So I choose the Los Angeles location, language as American English, keyboard as generic 105, and the partition as RS disk. And this will happen after you click the installation button. It's going to create a new MS-DOS. This all thing you already know that. I'm not going to explain everything because it's going to take a lot of time. So this is the summary. After clicking on install, it's going to take like a maximum of 20 minutes or minimum of 10 to 5 minutes. Depends on your PC and depends on the Linux distro. So after installation, it's going to say that it's finished. You need to finish and reboot your system, and you should be having your Ars Linux with your favorite desktop environment installed in your hard disk as a single boot or a dual boot, whatever you choose in the partition, it will give you the option. So that's it for the installation process. Let's close the installation process and let's check the apps which comes pre-installed in the Ars Linux GUI. Because the 2023-0401 edition is just a kernel change, which is 6.2.8, so nothing changed there. So I'm going to just show you the apps which comes pre-installed here. The XFCE version should be 4.18. It's available because I choose the XFCE desktop environment. If you choose any other desktop environment, it's going to show that version. So if you want to download Ars Linux as a normal without no desktop, you can choose like that. If you want to use like a graphical installer like this or like I'm using, you can just download like these things instead of struggling with the commands, all this thing. Some people love that, but some people don't like that. It's up to you to choose. These are all the apps comes pre-installed in the Ars Linux GUI with a graphical user interface. I think that's it. Let's check the task manager and end the video. Because nothing changed in Ars Linux, just the kernel like that. So no need to open the apps and show you. These are all the processes running right now. With no desktop, there should be a the Ars Linux should be very lightweight. With a graphical interface, the CPU is running like 34% and the memory is 1.1 GB. They're still good for the normal PC, not the low-end PC, but it's okay for the mid-end PC. I'm running on 12th Gen i5, which is latest processor. So it is good for me. I don't know about the low-end PCs. You need to try it on your own because you know how much resources will consume in your PC for this Linux distro. I think that's it for the video. So let's open the internet browser and I'm going to show you my channel. This part is only for the people who want to watch my content without subscribing. People who already subscribed, no need to watch this step, just skip the video. I already showed the version. So this is the URL you need to type to watch my content without subscribing every day. Just type in youtube.com //9to5linux. If you are using a web browser in a TV, mobile or a tab, just type it in like this, youtube.com /9to5linux. If you are using a YouTube app in a TV, mobile or a tab, just type in 9to5linux in the YouTube app. It's going to take directly to my channel. And I'll give you some info of what I provide daily without missing. I'm going to post 2 videos daily without missing any day. I am doing this like almost 5 to 6 years now. I didn't miss any day. Just like 3 to 4 years. Just I missed like 2 or 3 days like that. Almost like 4 years, 5 years. That's it. I covered everything. I almost made like 2000 videos. Here is a playlist. I deleted some of the videos, but almost still 100, I think 1600 videos are available still. If you are here for the only Linux content, just go to Linux and under Linux go to view full playlist. And you should be having videos, a lot of different varieties of Linux distros. I almost covered 70 to 80% of Linux distros which are available in this world. Like 1544 videos. I covered every different types of Linux distros. If you want to, you can go with the play all or shuffle. You can do anything you want. If you want to directly watch the specific Linux distro or a specific Linux term, just type in like this, MX Linux for example. I'm taking an example of MX Linux, and you will be having the latest videos here because I will make a video as soon as the ISO file is released like this. Even it's alpha version, development version, beta version, whatever it is, As soon as the ISO file is released, I'm going to make a content on it, so you don't need to wait for some other channel. If you like other channel, I don't have any problem, you can go check that out too, because I'm not going to force you to stay in my channel. It's clearly up to you. And this is the important thing I already told, but I'm going to mention it again. I post 2 videos daily without missing, and this is the timing. You need to check it out the channel. Like, these are the timings I will be posting. The videos will be available before the timing, because I'm going to put the videos in a premiere mode, so you will be having an idea of what I will be uploading that day. And I have a community that I'll post latest distribution and latest packages of the latest version, and you will have also info about that too. If you want to subscribe, you can subscribe. If you don't want, it's clearly up to you. I'm not going to force you. So I think that's it for the video. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, hit the thumbs up button. It helps make a good content for you. Other than that, I'll see you in tomorrow's video. Peace out. Let's shut it down.